Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Spotlight North Carolina Cooperative Extension. I'm your host, Rebecca Benton. North Carolina Cooperative Extension is comprised of two land-grant universities, NC State University and NC A&T State University. Now today, I have with me special guest, Meleah Evers. Meleah, thank you for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
Now I know that we're going to have an exciting recipe, so tell us about what we're making today.
Well, this is one that we have done several times in summer camps with our kids. So we had some overabundance of English muffins in the office. So I said, well, let's do that recipe for the audience today. So we're going to be making some English muffin mini pizzas.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. And I'm going to tell you, English muffins are actually pretty healthy compared to having actual pizza. It seems to put like a health spin on it. And
yes. And you can get like the whole wheat. These are not, like I said, these were just a free offering. So we were going to use those up today. So what we'll do is we'll get started by just taking the English muffin and we're going to cut it in half. I mean, they're already kind of split, but we might need to help it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And make a crummy mess here. All right, so then they really kind of recommend or say that two of the, or I guess the halves, two halves, are a serving.
Okay. So one whole muffin makes two mini pizzas, but that two mini pizzas will be your one serving.
Right.
Okay.
So, and I've got a couple different options for toppings because you can pretty much customize these however you like your pizza.
Okay.
So I got a jar of just pizza sauce. You could use spaghetti sauce if you don't have pizza sauce on hand. Sorry, I can't talk today.
That's okay. I can't talk a lot of days. Today I'm doing good right now.
But you just put a tablespoon of your sauce on your English muffin half and spread that around a little bit. And I like the margarita pizzas. I don't know if anybody's
I don't think I've ever had a margarita pizza, so tell me a little bit about that.
So it's not like the drink. It is actually tomatoes, but I don't have any fresh tomatoes. So if you have those, you can cut those up on your pizza. But it uses fresh basil and fresh mozzarella. So I have those little mozzarella pearls that we can put on our pizza today and make it all pretty and green and red. Looks kind of like Christmas. Certainly not like the drink that it sounds like. Put an extra one on here.
Okay.
And I actually like black olives. My kids like just cheese and black olive pizzas. I know that sounds kind of...
No, it actually sounds pretty good, which we eat olives at our house too. We really enjoy them.
Like I said, had to fight my kids off of the olives because I had just one can out and they were like, oh, can we open those? And I was like, no.
It's funny, the first time I ever had olives in an Italian dish was at your house. And it was when you did spaghetti.
Okay.
And so I had never had spaghetti with black olives before, but that was another fun treat. And they were really good. So
yeah. And then I just have mini pepperonis. If you don't have mini pepperonis, you can certainly, cut the bigger ones or, put the bigger ones on there. So I'm going to put my cheese on top.
So you're going to do a margarita one and then like a regular one?
And then like a little pepperoni pizza. So we'll have kind of the option of two different ones. Try to not dump this everywhere. And this is just, shredded mozzarella.
And which is so good on pizza.
Yes, I'm going to put a little of that on this pizza. But then I have the other Parmesan and Romano cheese to go on.
So you could do this vegetarian style, you could do it not vegetarian
you can
style.
Put, pepperoni on your pizza.
Did you loosen it up for me?
I didn't.
You did not loosen it up. Yes, you did.
So this is Parmesan Romano. You know, if you really want to be fancy, you can shred your own. I was just doing this for the sake of time that I purchased this. But then what we're going to do is we're going to heat the oven. We have a toaster oven here today for the magic of television, and we'll put that on 375. And let's see, you want to turn that on for us? I think we're on the setting.
Where's the on button? Is it on the front?
Probably.
You might better turn it on because I can't. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one thing that I love about these particular ovens is that if it's summertime, you don't actually have to heat up your whole house.
Right.
So you can put your, you can bake something in here, especially if you want to do something quick. You want to do some little mini pizzas for lunch or for dinner for your family, comp it with a salad. That's one thing that I really like about particularly using these. Then my whole house is not heated up because I've turned on my big oven.
Or if your kids want a snack and you don't want to have to, you know, heat up the oven or want them using the oven. This is a tool that they can use.
Still on?
I think so.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to cook those for about 10 minutes. And let's see. Yeah, it's on. The light's on. We just don't hear it. Okay. Yeah. So they can, you know, use like a small kitchen appliance if you allow them to do that. So that's, you know, a convenient thing. You know, if you don't have a toaster oven, something like that, you can sometimes use a different setting on, say, like an air fryer if you have one that has different settings, and do them in there.
And see, at our office, I have about 3 of these. And I will take them. So if I'm going to teach classes in the past, I would take these 3 items with me, and we would have like a group of 20, and that way we could get done fairly quickly and get them several of them done. And the kids would have they were able to create their own, cook it, and then try their own food. So
right. So yeah, like I said, you know, you can put different vegetables, whatever you might have on hand. And put those on there so you can make them as healthy or unhealthy as you would like.
Speaking of spicing them up from healthy to unhealthy, so some of the other ways that I've done these is on an actual biscuit, and I mash it down. Now it's going to take longer.
And make your own dough.
Yeah, and make my own dough out of already pre-made biscuit, and that's pretty good. I've done those at birthday parties and at home just to do something quick if I wanted something, if I didn't have these.
Right.
I've also even done them on just regular white bread or whole wheat bread.
Okay. So did you just cut the crust?
I did not cut the crust. I just mashed, you know the egg recipe that Jude did with the egg and bacon? So I just mashed the middle of them down, put just a little bit of sauce because you don't want to get, the one thing with bread, you'll get it way too soggy. So just a little bit of sauce, and then you put your toppings on it, and you can toast that, and it's kind of like a pizza as well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty neat idea. So that's several different ideas.
So you could do it just depends on what you have. You've had tortillas?
Right.
At the house, you could use those too.
Right. So there's several different options, but that, like I said, this is something that we had on hand at the office, and so I thought I would, you know, bring it and show it, because, you know, when kids come home from school, oftentimes they're starving to death and cannot wait until dinner time, or, you know, on a Saturday if they're at home and want some kind of quick snack, and that's not completely junk food, that you can kind of do some different things with them.
Throw it together real fast. Completely understand that. So tell us a little bit while we're letting this cook. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in FCS right now.
Well, we are getting ready to kick off some of our food safety programs with, I think we've got 16 signed up to come and do the food safety course, certification course. Okay. So that's going on. So yeah, last time I cooked, I hardly made anybody sick. That's kind of where this joke comes from.
Tell our audience, because I don't know that they would know, what is our food safety course? What does that do? Who takes it?
Restaurant managers, cafeteria managers, they are required to have a certification that says that they know how to prepare food that is in a safe manner that's not going to get anybody sick, because about 48 million people get sick every year from foodborne illness. 70% of that tends to be in restaurants, not at home. So the other 30% would be at home. So that's what we're kind of trying to do with that education, is making sure that they can know how to do it and also train their employees on how to serve safe food.
Now, are all restaurant owners or restaurants in the state of North Carolina required to take Serve Safe?
Well, I won't say required. If they don't have certification, it kind of punishes them on their inspections.
Okay.
So they get 2 points knocked off automatically if they don't have that certification.
Okay.
Several years back, they used to get an extra 2 points, but in 2009, North Carolina kind of did away with that when they adopted the food code.
Okay.
So now it's
a
a little more of a requirement or a little more of a punishment
instead
if
of
they
you get
don't
the credit,
have it.
it's more like a
Cut.
debit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
Exactly.
you don't get that. So, but what was one thing that was interesting, because I was like, when I go to a restaurant, I like to see that score.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I guess I've worked in food so long, like I want to know what it looks like. And it flabbergasted me that when I went to Virginia, they did not have food safety scores in restaurants.
Oh, really?
I even, like, when I went to a restaurant, I said, hey, where's your food safety score? They're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what? So not every state even requires that. So go North Carolina.
Right, yeah.
Keep us safe.
Exactly. So that is one kind of thing. I mean, and it just kind of depends on state to state if they adopt, the food code and stuff. So some states still operate a little differently.
Yeah. At that time, I just thought it was like mandatory but it wasn't. I was like, oh. So
Yeah.
it kind of surprised me.
It is. But like I said, this is a cool little easy recipe, and we've done this several times during summer camps, and we've got those coming up this summer.
Yes.
So we'll be doing lots of fun recipes during that time. So check us out and make sure you get your kids involved in that.
Yes, we're going to do some cooking ones. We're planning on our exploration camp. We've got a lot of camps that we're working on, and we're going to get some save the dates hopefully out in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so that parents can be planning and we can get our stuff planned out.
Yes.
And our folks coming in to teach our kids.
Yes, because we always love to have our kids come in and cook and learn. I know it's a advantage when you have kids that know how to prepare some foods, so that way when they do go off to college, they're not like, I don't know how to cook anything, so they can have something to eat, so they're not starving to death. So
yeah, and it's always interesting in my classes when I have youth there that already have knowledge and experience, and so I kind of let them help the other ones that don't. And so it's a learning process for all of us.
Yeah,
and
so it is.
And sometimes I learn things. I was talking to them last year. I was like, Miss Rebecca still gets burnt sometimes by accident, or accidents still happen in the kitchen. So you've got to be on your toes no matter how much experience you have. So.
Exactly, yeah. I know that I was very impressed when you were telling me about some of the kids that you had in some of your classes and some of the foods and stuff that they knew how to prepare at such a young age.
Yes, I had 3rd graders that told me that their grandmothers had actually taught them to fry chicken. I'm not saying that's the healthiest thing, but they knew how to do that. And then I had one 3rd grader that he said that he actually prepared most of the foods and that they were cooked because unfortunately his mom had been sick, and so he had a younger brother, and he said, it might not have been a lot, but he knew how to do a lot of things, and I was shocked. Yeah.
So like I said, this is super duper easy. But having your kids or teaching your kids some of these little cooking tips certainly does help.
Yep. And some of the things about these, like, you don't want to touch the top here. This is going to be hot. I work with the kids about the safety of the equipment too in our classes. So.
Right. And using knives and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is a recipe you don't have to use, certainly big knives and things like that. You could even use a plastic knife or a small kitchen knife to do that. So.
Yep. And you could do these fruit as well. I just thought about that because you could do like cream cheese and fruits on top.
That would be another pretty cool option, is to do like a fruit pizza where you do the cream cheese and then cut up the fruits on top. That would be awesome. Yep. Yeah, because I really like to do the sugar cookie kind of crust even, and doing the fruit toppings on the pizza. So that would be a really good option.
You want to go ahead and pull those out and we'll show the audience what they look like? Because I know
our
we're
right is melting, so we do have some.
I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you need me to hold the plate, or?
Well, I'll do it with this napkin. I think I can do
it
this
is
without
pretty.
getting burnt. I don't throw it
And
in the
it
floor.
goes in the floor.
Hopefully not. That mozzarella melted really pretty.
It did. It's glistening. It's like, eat me.
Yeah, so the great part about this show is we do get to try the recipes afterwards. So I hope you want some mini pizza for lunch.
I do. I want to try it. I'm super excited. It looks really good. I've never tried the margarita one, so I'm super excited about trying that. And like I said, this is one of my favorite recipes, one of my go-tos, especially if I have large groups or if I have something after school with the kids.
Right.
And they like to make it and feel, it's part of them, and they put on what they want. Meleah, thank you for being with us. If somebody wanted to get up with you about food safety, nutrition, anything that you are in your program area, how can they contact you?
Call the office. Our number, or my number, is 641-3996, and that's probably the best way to get up with me. And you can leave a message with our secretary, Karsha, if I happen not to be there.
Okay. Audience, thank you so much for joining us today in Spotlight North Carolina Cooperative Extension, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.